one of the things Kenyans need to do, they need to step back and understand William Ruto very well. You know? Yeah. They have not yet understood this guy. You know, Ruto, right now, he is not behaving like a candidate. He is not behaving like someone who needs people's votes in 2027. And why is he behaving like that? My best guess is he knows something that we don't know. And that something that we don't know is that there will be no election in 2027. He doesn't plan to have one. That's why even IEBC is not there up to now. It's not fully constituted up to now. Because even by elections, he doesn't want them. So this guy is becoming dangerous every day. Because he has consolidated power. Yes, of course, you might look at Ruto like he is losing. But what is he losing? He is losing the people. But is he losing power? No. He has lost the people, but he has gained power. He is consolidating power every day. This guy literally owns parliament now, the National Assembly and the Senate. He can pass anything. Even if it is state of emergency, anapitisha inapita. This guy, the way he is right now, even if the police do something to me right now, and I go to IPOA, Ruto owns IPOA. So I'll be going back to him. Ruto right now owns the office of the DPP, an independent office under the Constitution, but he owns it and controls it. The DPP is nothing like what it used to be when Keriako Tobiko was a DPP. DPP sign it, withdraw corruption case, withdraw this one, withdraw that one, withdraw. It has become a business. Teacher Service Commission, an independent commission under the Constitution. Watu wanatembea na barua za TSC kwa matanga. The guy owns part of the judiciary. He owns part of the judiciary. And they actually made Philomena Mwilu to empanel the judges to hear Gachagwa's case because she has a corruption case. It's easy to control her. You know, much as I sympathize with probably what has happened to Gachagua, I'm very reluctant to join in saying anything about it. Why? Because that fight is not our fight. Yes. Gachagua himself says he's a truthful man. He was there when the Gen Zs were being killed. Being a truthful man, has he said which team? At least mimi nimeshaambia wa Kenya kuna team iko under DCI inaitwa Operation Support Team OST yenye ili replace SSU, Special Service Unit. But Gachagua has been a deputy president. He knows more than me. Me, the little I know is from the little intelligence I have. He knows more. He can even mention names if he wants to. But is he doing it? Gachagua knows more than me about Adani. He knows more than Nelson Amenya. He knows more about Adani more than all of us. But can he say it? He cannot. Adani ni pesa yetu. Why is he not telling us? Adani hii ni pesa yenu yenye iliibiwa from this and this and this program. Ikapelekwa mambo. Adani imeletwa kama proxy. The real person buying the airport is William Ruto. Why can't he say it? If he's a truthful man. Ni selective honesty. That's why me sitakani kushughulika sana. But if Gachagua means well for Kenya, if he means well, kitu ya kwanza, let's not even talk about the corruption case that he had that was withdrawn. Let's not talk about it. Sahi yako kwa ofisi, atoke na photocopy ya documents. Sindio?
Atoke original.
Asiondoke bure, atoke na photocopy. And you know, I said this thing a long time ago. I said, Gachagua has information we need that can help us in this movement.
Ukalimwa.
Nililimu huko kwa X, and I don't know what is wrong with Kenyans on X. Who hurt them? Walinilima sahi, they are saying the same thing. But hawajitusi na hawajibi platform. They are saying the same thing I used to say But they don't even have the honesty to say, no, Morara, you are right. For example, the issue of Uhuru Park.
No. That's okay.
You know, everybody has their opinion. Mimi nilisema sitaweza kufika kwa sababu of who is funding this thing. And I was being honest. But sikuwa nataka kuharibia watu majina. Unajua Kenyans trust these people.
Yeah.
And some of them labda wanaifanya for njaa, labda ni kulipa bills. So sikutaka kwanza kusema wewe na wewe na wewe na wewe mmepewa pesa na mtu fulani. Because if I say it, with the little information I have, you will put me to standard to prove it. I know it's true, but I don't have access to your bank account to show people for a fact that this is it.
Yeah.
Kitu ya pili nikaambia watu, this Gachagua thing will affect that meeting.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that Gachagua was released from hospital the same day Uhuru Park was happening? Is it a coincidence? No. The information I had, even before these people knew, the information I had is that alikuwa ametoa do ya kupanga na alikuwa organize watu wake kumobilize watu. His mission was infiltrate your mkutano wakuwe wengi, then they turn the meeting into his meeting. He was supposed to make a surprise appearance at that meeting and even address the
direct from the hospital.
Yeah, that's why he scheduled his release from hospital.
It was timely.
Very timely, very convenient. And I told people, ondokea. Kuondokea, retreating is not cowardice. You can retreat to re-strategize. Because saa hii, tukishinda tukienda maandamano ya watu 10, maandamano ya watu 20, watu 50, ina fail. Those people had hope that Kenya will change. So we are killing the hope.
We are killing the hope, man. True.
Because mtu alikuwa naamini hawa watu bana hii maandamano si succeed. We are killing their hope because now they are like, inaonekana huyu Ruto ameweka askari wengi sana, amekuwa so powerful, hii hatutawezana. Watu wanarusha mikono juu wanasema, mimi wacha niendelee na biashara yangu. Mimi wacha niendelee na kazi yangu. Tukiumia. That's what when you do so many unsuccessful attempts, you kill the hope of your followers. Sasa maandamano itaenda ikipungua in attendance. Leo ilikuwa na watu 100, kesho kwa na watu 50, kesho kwa na watu 20, hiyo nyingine watu 10, upaki peke yako. People not want to come, not because they don't want change, but because they don't want to succeed in something, they don't want to participate in something that is failing.
Yeah, true.
You know, for us to do successful demonstrations in Nairobi, yenye inaweza tingiza William Ruto hivi. If you want to do a successful demonstration in Nairobi, yenye inaweza tingiza Statehouse hivi. We need not less than 1 million people in Nairobi. Now those people are not Nairobians.
They should come from the villages.
Nairobians will be like 30% or 40%. Those people need to come from all over Kenya. Unaona vile nane ilikuwa ikue, the way I had dreamt of it. That's how it's supposed to be. Watu watoke Mombasa bana. Wanakuja Nairobi maandamano. Wamewekewa roadblock, sijui hapa salama. Wanashuka magari wanapitia kwa bushes na mapikipiki wakikuja maandamano. Watu wa boda wametoka Bungoma. Watu wametoka Kitale. Watu wametoka Kisii. Watu wametoka Migori. Watu wametoka Garissa, Isiolo, Meru, Karatina. Watu wametoka Elgeyo Marakwet. Watu wametoka paka huko Kapenguria, West Pokot. Wametoka huko Lodwar. Wanakuja maandamano Nairobi. That day, this government will listen to the people. That day. But until that day, I don't think we should engage. Why go into a fight that you're going to lose? Because you know, William Ruto is becoming dangerous every day. Every single day is becoming dangerous. And the reason he's becoming dangerous is because he's isolated. Unajua what makes a president human is people. Wakati rais amezungukwa na watu, na wachana yes men, wa yes sir, ndio mkubwa, tajiri, mkubwa wetu, kiongozi, chairman, people like people. When they surround the president, he becomes human. But right now the guy is very isolated. He is very dangerous. He is very dangerous. That's why he has teams, special teams of DCI killer squads looking for people to finish them or to threaten them. The guy is dangerous, and it will become more dangerous as we go. Because he's acquired wealth and he has power. Wealth and power. They make Ruto a very, very dangerous person going forward. While he's becoming more dangerous and wealthier, Kenyans are becoming poorer. Kama ulikuwa na ploti yenye ulinunua wakati wa Kibaki when the economy was good, sasa hivi umeuza kutibu mama hospitalini. Ndio umeambiwa NHIF ifanye shift ifanye, sasa lazima
ni cash.
Cash. Mtu alikuwa shanunua probox yake, sasa amekimbizwa na loan sijui ya nini hapa ameuza. Ama amekimbizwa na school fees ya university, mtoto amepita anaenda university. Do you know how painful it is to deny a child something? Hebu imagine mtoto wako amepita, anafaa ende kampo, huna do. Na funding model ndio imekusukuma hakuna do. Itabidi uuze gari because denying a child something is very painful. So watu wanaenda wakikuwa maskini. Hata Kenyans wale walikuwa na mali yao increase unless you are corrupt. Inaenda ikipungua. The only people are getting rich in Kenya, they are not more than 200 out of 55 million Kenyans. Watu wenye wanaendelea kutajirika sasa hii, they are not more than 200. Ni watu less than 200. Wengine wote mali yao inapungua, including mimi. Including me.
Things are bad.
Things are bad. And you know, I'm telling Kenyans, corruption iko kwa counties. We know. We are aware. But can you compare what is stolen in the counties with what is stolen in the national government? If we fix leadership in national government, we'll fix the problems in the county. Because county iko na like 12 billion a year. Yeah? But national government saa hii Ministry of Health kunaendelea kuibia 104 billion for secure health system. Something that can cost $1 billion or less. They are spending 104 billion. How many counties can that money fund for 5 years? 2 counties for 5 years. You know, the kind of money that's stolen in national government. The situation in Kenya is bad, especially kama healthcare. Enda kwa hospitali hapa. Mtu ni mtoto wake wa kwanza, they should be celebrating, lakini analia. Mama amezaa na CS. Sasa kuzaa na CS imekuwa ni kama death sentence, ni bahati mbaya. Kisha kupata ni WhatsApp mara moja. You can imagine mtu hajaipata dota tangu mwaka ianze. Ni mtu anakaanga jobless corner. Wakipata job, maybe mtu amekwama kwa matope, gari imekwama, wanaenda msukuma wanapata 200. Sengine wanafanya garbage collection wanapata 200. Sengine kupiga tu shughuli, wanabebea watu mizigo wanapata 500. Alafu unataka kumuitisha 30k pap ya CS ama 60k. Atatoa wapi? Hata kwa ndoto. Yeye hana ng'ombe ya kuuza. Yeye mwenyewe mahali anaishi, nyumba dirisha ameweka makaratasi. Kama kate. Ama gazeti. These people are heartless. They are heartless. Unajua wao wanaendelea kutajirika na watoto wao. Wananunua mandege, wananunua makampuni. They are making Kenyan companies to fail. Kenya Airways iunde loss. Kenya Ports Authority itengeneze loss. Sugar companies za Western zitengeneze loss. Ili zikuwe cheap wanunue. Alafu wanatudanganya public private partnerships, PPPs.
Ukora.
But what I can tell the Kenyan youth, wasidanganywe na mambo ya leaderless na wasidanganywe na mambo ya partyless. The women of Kenya have given birth to leaders. And we have leaders of integrity who can take power. Let's groom them, let's mentor them, let them have a party. Hata kama wataingia inject party, watengeneze party. Tufanye a coalition of 50 parties. Ndio.
Yeah.
Si lazima mtu aingie inject party, kwani ni lazima. Mtu atengeneze wao watu wao watengeneze, tufanye coalition ya party 100 ama party 50. But if possible waingie. So that we start grooming the leaders of tomorrow. Because how do you remove William Ruto then you don't have a replacement? That is a mistake that very many countries have made. Even Sri Lanka made that mistake. South Sudan made that mistake. Sudan, there was a revolution. It removed people from power. What happened? Sahi watu wanapangwa kama garbage, watu wameuawa. Wanapangwa like garbage. Piles and piles of dead bodies in Sudan. Because of removing a person from power, mumemchukia paka mtaki kufikiria replacement. Mnasema tu Ruto must go, but you don't think, have you groomed the leaders to take over? Ama mtatoa William Ruto mweke Didmas Barasa. Ama mweke John Waluke. You know you can remove one person and put a worse person. Na maybe hata mweke mtu wake wa mkono. Yeah, you can remove Ruto from power and Sonko wins an election, Mike Sonko. Because he's popular. Or Waititu. I'm not saying, I'm not belittling you. I'm not saying they can't be leaders. But can you imagine a country where Waititu is president? It can happen. These things are not a dream. If William Ruto became president, people can become president. Na Gen Z wawachane na story ya kupigana na kanisa. We are fake pastors, we know. We know that. And we even know them. Those fake pastors. Why do you still go to their churches? Mbona church yao watu imejaa? Kama tayari mnajua hawa ni fake pastors.
So we need
it. It means the problem is not the pastor.
The followers.
Civic education ingilianga hapa. Bad leaders come from bad citizens. Kama niyo hamjajielewa, mta expect aje leader amejielewa. Because your choice is as good as the knowledge available to you. Wachana kupigana na church, because the kind of change we need the church. The church is very powerful. The church is second to government in terms of power. We need the church. And majority of the church is okay. Kuna a few rotten apples, but are they the reason we are going to stop you worshiping God? Azala tuache kuabudu Mungu juu William Ruto amechafulia. God was there before William Ruto and he will be there after him. This is a good reason for us to worship him more. And not just Christianity, even Muslims. They should look at the leaders who are elected in Kenya who profess Islam, who say they are Muslims. Do they even do anything close to the teachings of the Quran? Leaders who wanajifanya Waislamu Kenya, do they do anything close to what is the teaching in the Quran? They don't. No, me, I read the Quran out of curiosity. They don't. It means, see, Christianity became a fail. Every religion in Kenya has been misused. But that's not a reason to stop worshiping Allah or God. No. At the end of the day, we need God. So the first thing we need to do, we need to stay alive. Because he is not joking. If William Ruto will not have if he's planning not to have an election in 2027, then he's not joking.
Which is most likely.
Very likely.
Yeah.
Or if he plans to have an election where he wins 98% like Paul Kagame, then we should expect that he doesn't want an opponent. Hiyo pia tujue. But 2027 ni mbali. Mimi hata nashindwa how Kenyans are able to wait. I'm already impatient.
3 more years of suffering.
Ukiambia mtu mgonjwa saa hii kwamba tunangoja 2027 ndio tubadilishe hii bad governance. Ukiambia mtu mwenye biashara yake imetoka kufungwa in Embu Town, ametoka kufunga biashara yake akasema imenishinda, the business environment in Kenya has failed. Alafu mwambia ngoja 2027. Ukiambia mkulima wa miwa mwenye miwa yake imeoza kwa store huko na hajai lipwa.
It is far.
Ukiambia mtu amepoteza ploti zake juu ya kufanyia kazi county akiwa kwa pending bills, ati angoje 2027. Ukiambia mtu mwenye Ruto amegrab shamba yake angoje 2027, 2027 is very far. It is far. But something needs to happen. Something needs to happen urgently. And for that thing to happen, the Kenyan people must be on one page. And for us to be on one page, sisi wenye tuko na knowledge, we need to take it to the villages. Unaona Kenyans wenye wako on X, and on Facebook, and on TikTok. But sana sana hao wenye wako on X kwa sababu wao ndio wanaona the epitome of knowledge. They need to transfer that knowledge to the ground. Wasikuwe tu keyboard warriors, kila siku ni kucomplain. You complain about Gachagua, you complain about Kindiki, you complain about Ruto, but you're not doing anything about it on the ground. Civic education. So me, when I made the decision not to go to Uhuru Park, it was a decision of leadership. Sio kila time ati mimi nasikiza ground. Ground inasemaje nafanya hiyo. Ground inasemaje nafanya. That's being a populist. If you want to prove to the Kenyan people that you are a leader, or even to the people of your generation that you are a leader, you need to sit down, listen to people, but after listening to them, make a right decision. Not a popular decision, a right decision. You make a right decision, then you popularize the right decision. It's the job of leaders to mobilize people into believing that they are telling them, they are taking them in the right direction. Because ukisikiza watu kila kitu, si mtaenda kama upepo nyinyi wote. Hiyo si kukua leaderless. But when Kenyans trust some people, they trust maybe Okia, or they trust Eric Omondi, or they trust Anifa, or they trust Boniface Mwangi, or they trust Crazy Kena, anybody who can be a leader, Babu, and anyone. If Kenyans trust Orugadoni or Mochomba, if Kenyans trust someone that this person can actually give us direction, let that person sit down, recognize the big responsibility, think with other leaders, make a right decision, then popularize the right decision. Not listen to the popular saying, watu wanasemaje, watu wanataka aje, wanasema 2020, sawa 20. Then you fail. Because people will tell you anything. So unajua wananchi wao wameumia. Wao wanataka results sahi, wako impatient. If you don't guide that anger, because speed without direction is dangerous. Even anger must be directed at the right thing. Indio? Yeah. So we need leadership. And me, I've been very willing to work with all these leaders. I've been very willing to work with them. Sijai kata. I don't even know why people think I've refused. I've never refused to work with any leader. Hakuna kiongozi ametaka kuwork na mimi nikakataa kuwork na yeye. Mwenye nimekataa ni mwenye either ameniita anipee pesa nikuwe ninafanya kazi yake. Hakuwa ananiambia Morara, sasa ongelea hii na ongelea hiyo. Anataka ni own kama mouthpiece. Au nimewakataza. Roho safi. Na siwezi kukataza kitu alafu nimchomee jina. Niseme unajua so aliniambia hivi lakini nikakataa. To maintain that respect, nakataa alafu natulia tu. See, I don't even need to tell anyone kwamba nilikataa. But I'm very willing to work with these people. 100% very ready to work with them towards change. Lakini sasa wengine wanakuita uende ukawabebe briefcase. Wanakuita ili uende ukakuwe mtu wa mkono. Why? Because they don't believe in young leadership. They believe you are young when mtu mdogo anzia MCA. Mekuwa MCA kwanza. Kuja unibebe briefcase hapa kwanza. They don't believe in that. So unajua, na kama uko na vision na mission na umeiona na uko ruthlessly focused, Mtu anakuita ukakue mtu wake wa mkono, unalenga kidogo. So wajua ukilenga wao Wakenya hawajui. Na wewe anza kumchomea juu hutaki kuopen another fight. Tayari tuko na fight kubwa against bad governance and against this president who has made life impossible. So if you start opening.
Welcome back to the Morara TV. So Morara Kebaso was just spoken and he has exposed a lot of things which are at the moment affecting this country of Kenya. First was we start with the no IBC in office. That's one of the major problems we are facing as a country. There are many constituencies and there are many county assemblies which require leaders to be in position. For example, majority of them have lost their leaders maybe through death or uncertain death or unprecedented death, and some have vacated office maybe because of some reason. So these are some of the things which have been affected with no IBC in office. So apart from that, we look at the issue of saying that Ruto must go. The agency have not yet gloomed a leader who is supposed to take over, and for that case, something like which happened in Sudan is eye-opening. There need to be Gen Z, or there need to be parties of the Gen Z so that it can be easy to make Ruto go home come in 2022. But if we are saying that Ruto must go and there is nobody to take over, there is no party to fight the existing party from office, then it will be no work to be done. Apart from that, he has said that majority of the sectors, for example, the healthcare sector is facing a lot of challenge, and majority of the normal Kenyans can't afford these ridiculous expensive bills which are being put in place day in, day out. He went ahead to say that now that there is the transition from NHIF to SHA, but at the moment there is not that clear plan. Go to hospitals, they are not functional still, yet they have going to work on a software that cost 1.4 billion. Just imagine 1.4 billion software. There's a lot to be thought about. You went ahead to say about also the university and how many parents are going to suffer in terms of taking their children to the university. You find a parent is forced to maybe sell a plot of land to take her mother or her guardian to hospital because he can't afford maybe 100,000. So he's forced to sell that parcel of 100, let's say that 50 by 100 somewhere, so that he can fund these medical expenses because the NHIV is not working. You find somebody wants to take a student to school, maybe a student or a daughter or son has passed very well, he's supposed to join the university. So because of lack of the circulation of money, he's maybe forced to sell that ka bro box yes or that ka Toyota 110, that ka Sienta, that ka Paso, you know. Those are some of the challenges which are there, and he says that even at the moment the banks are not giving out loans to the citizens because they know that the citizens don't have money. Majority of people are now living below even $1 a day, and that's a very big challenge at the moment. He also went ahead to say that if Kenyans wanted to really change themselves, they must groom themselves to take over. Kenyan women have given birth to leaders who are able to take this country to another level, not what is happening at the moment. What do you think is going to happen in the coming days? So that's it for today.